Welcome everyone. Here's another small video on production in the game called Black Swan by Vento Novo Games, which I'm currently playing. In the actual game I was playing, I did not reinforce any units in the Mediterranean, any allied units in the Mediterranean, but I do want to show you how that works, as it works slightly differently from reinforcing other units. As you can see here, if I wanted to reinforce this British artillery unit in Cairo, I would have to spend twice the normal amount for each step. An artillery step usually costs 3 to upgrade. In this case, because it's an orange port, that cost is doubled, and it would actually it therefore actually costs 6 production points. The tank unit in Alexandria would normally cost 2 to upgrade. Now it costs 4 per step because it's also in an orange port. Had they been in a red port, for instance here in Jerusalem, the costs would have been tripled. Well, you can make the calculations for yourselves. One other important thing I really have to mention there is in a scenario you can reinforce units overseas if the supply path goes through either contested or friendly sea spaces. If you're playing one of the two campaign games, the 1939 or the 1941 game, all sea zones in between have to be friendly controlled. So in this particular case, as you can see, those are British units, so they have to be supplied, and in this case reinforced via Britain. And so far so good, because these two are friendly controlled. But then if we move into the Mediterranean, we're still okay here, but this one is Italian controlled, so they wouldn't be able to go beyond that point with supply, and the same is true for reinforcements, obviously. The alternate route around the Cape, we face the same problem here, because this area is also contested. Had it not been contested, so around the Cape really is around the Cape, so we go around Africa, we would end up here. But in this sea zone, well, it's also Italian controlled. The good thing is that if they could still reinforce the units in Cairo, but then instead of at the orange port, which is impossible because in a campaign game, that is, because the sea zone is contested, they could still reinforce them, but then they would have to use the red port here, which borders the same area, but it borders the Indian Ocean, and the cost would be tripled rather than doubled. The unit here cannot be reinforced because another condition is for overseas reinforcements in the Mediterranean that the area contain a port, and in this case it doesn't. So this unit cannot be reinforced. The units in Tobruk can, that is, well, yeah, I suppose they could through here and then there, so bypassing the contested sea zone. So I suppose that's possible. I do wonder though, because supply would actually be coming through here then, so I guess the cost would be tripled, but that would be an interesting question to ask the designer. Of course, in this particular case, it's not even possible at all to reinforce that way, because this particular area is Italian controlled, so over land they cannot be reinforced from here onto Alexandria, so they would have to go through that area. But had this area actually been Allied controlled, this one here, I suppose it would be possible, but I figure it would cost three production points then, well, triple the number of production points. But that's an interesting question to ask. Anyway, well, one more thing, this unit in Malta is out of supply, which is also a reason why it's impossible under any circumstances to reinforce a unit. So out of supply means no reinforcements possible. Okay, so I hope you've found this video insightful again, and that it will help you play Black Swan better, and make you enjoy it more perhaps as well, because this rule is clear to you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.